Okay, Thomas the Tank Engine fans here. Let me introduce to you now Miss Frieda. Frieda is a very large, very strong engine that will appear in the Great Race, a 2016 release. Frieda comes to us from Germany, and she is known to be a very large, very strong engine. You can see the number 409 on her. She's a big girl, and she's a very attractive engine. I don't think I've seen this design quite before. You know what? Why don't we just open her up and take a look at Frieda. Here's Frieda outside the box. Now, the first thing we notice about Frieda is her funnel. Look at the size of that. I don't think I've seen a funnel quite like that in the wooden railway series at all. It's absolutely huge. It's going to be a lint trap for some kids. You're going to get a lot of fuzzies in there. And with a funnel that big, you're going to produce smoke. And with the smoke, it's a good thing we have those smoke deflectors on the side of her face. Now, Frieda, with the smoke deflectors, is actually based on a West German DB Class 10 462 steam engine. Now, only two of these were ever put into production, and they were both painted black, which was quite interesting. The West Germans nicknamed them Black Swans, not only because of the color, but because of how beautiful and how attractive they were. Now, right here we can see the German flag detailing on the back of the tender, both sides. You have the the black, red, and yellow stripes. It's also on her front fender plate as well, both sides. Interesting side note, in the movie The Great Race and in the CGI version, they've actually got the red and the black lines mixed up. So still with the German colors, but not quite the German flag. Now, sticking with her roots, and based on the DB Class 10, Frieda, of course, a German name, which means beautiful. And she is beautiful. She's quite attractive engine. But I was kind of curious about why they made Frieda. Frieda's a very minor character in the film. She actually only has one line, and we noticed that she looks like Gordon, or Shooting Star Gordon, from the rear. We're going to take a quick look. I just want you to pay attention to the tender and how... Okay, let's talk tenders here. I want to get a close-up, and I want to focus on the top. We'll just lay in the magnets up there, and you can see the top of the tender doesn't come anywhere near to the top of the cab. Now, it was leaked on the internet that the original tender design, this was all the plastic coal design that you see with many of the other tenders. Here's just an example with Gordon's. You see this right here design. That was actually originally on the top. I have seen pictures of that. If we look at the back of the card, so this is the card that Frieda came in, we can actually see that the top of the tender lines up perfectly with the cab. So look how tall this tapered unit is as compared to the actual tender. It's a lot shorter than the actual tender. So it looks like they redesigned again with the tender. Another side note is on the back of the card, we can see a close-up right there. Colors and decorations may vary. Well, they certainly do. The top of Frieda's cab is painted black, as well as the top of the tender, when in the final product they went with a dark blue. Now, taking a look at Frieda's composition, we'll just get another close-up here. Okay, so let's look at how much of her is actual wood. This has been a kind of a problem since Fisher-Price has taken over the line. We've got the all-wood boiler right here. It's complete wood. We've got the cab right here as well, the cab being wood. The side and the face, of course, plastic, as standard with most, actually with all Thomas lines. Underneath, we can see the amount of plastic that's used in the undercarriage here. This is all plastic. So basically, we have wood here, and the rest down here is all plastic. And we have this fixed front wheel, a design I do not like. And we have the rear wheel housing here. This part of the tandem. This is all wood. This is an improvement from earlier Fisher-Price designs. Let's take a look at a Fisher-Price Hero, where underneath we have all plastic. So both of these on the tandem are plastic. In fact, Hero is mostly plastic. Pre-Fisher-Price, we were almost all wood. In fact, Gordon, except for the face and the side, he is completely wood, and the wheels, of course. He's completely wood, including the tandem wheel housings there. All wood. Now, I don't like the front fixed design here with this. I really don't like the gaping play that we have in the back design. That looks like it's only a matter of time before it snaps off. But the front not being able to steer, it's not a good design. And we're going to showcase that right away as we take Frieda to the slalom course. Okay, so here we have the slalom course. There's nothing spectacular about this course. These are just the tiny little curve pieces. Every collector has at least one of these pieces. Here's 6 in a row. We just got them wide to narrow just to give a little bit of a groove of a snake charmer right there. We're going to compare 3 engines. So I've got pre-Fisher-Price James, who's a straight 6 with no turning ability, and his tender, of course. We've got a Fisher-Price Hero, which has the tandem axles as well as his tender. And we've got Frieda. And Frieda's got that front axle that's fixed and the 3 that steer together with her tender. I call this the 1 can't steer, 3 in the rear. And I'm going to show you why I'm not a fan of this. Let's start off with James. Let's get James and his track. We'll get his tender on track. And just using the tender, I'm just going to move him back and forth. It's not the smoothest feel for a straight 6 with a tender. But you can see that he does want to come back into that track. There's going to be a little bit of difficulty with if a 5-year-old's pushing this, but still a lot more fun. Hero now with the tandem and the tender. Just grabbing the tender, once again, I can move him back and forth. He's a lot smoother, a lot easier. There's nothing wrong with this design at all. He really goes in with the track. Now, let's get Frieda in here. And we got the 1 in there, and we'll try and get all 3 in the back. And just, once again, gripping the tender. And you can see that the wheels don't want to stay in. We get up a little bit of speed. And she just does not want to stay on this track at all. She wants to go right off. That front axle just doesn't want to go. I have no idea why Fisher-Price would try and literally reinvent the wheel here. They had a winning design. They tried reinventing it. And let's remember, this toy is marketed to a 3 to 5-year-old. I don't see a lot of fun coming out. Okay, this is just another angle so we can get a little bit of a closer look. You can see where it pops off. You know, I don't know why you would want to reinvent the wheel. This is absolutely terrible. Fisher-Price really shouldn't have done anything with this. But while I was doing this, I just noticed something else. Let's take a good look at the front of Frieda. Look at this, the scoop. It looks like we have a lowrider right here in front of that fixed wheel. There's hardly any clearance there. Let's compare her to the Vinny, who has a much bigger clearance. We'll put them up head to head. You can see right there the magnets are kind of pushing each other, but you can see the clearance on the front, as compared even to a Hero. Let's see how Frieda does going up hills. Okay, it looks like we have the uphill challenge, and I think it's more bad news for Frieda. Let's start things off. So this is a pre-Fisher-Price Gordon with the tandem design. He's just going to go up the hill, and I just want to focus on the front magnet right here. So we're going up the hill. And there's absolute clearance there. Let's just get a little bit closer. He comes in and we can see there's absolute clearance. He's not touching any part of that track at all. Now let's go with a Fisher-Price Hero. This is a Fisher-Price Hero design. He's going to go up the hill, and the magnet's actually going to touch. But I want you to see that front wheel. See how that front wheel stays and it spins? We got a little bit of play in that second wheel, but we have that play in the tandem, which allows it. So the second wheel is not touching, but the first is carrying the weight. Now with a Frieda, I want you to watch this front wheel again. We're going in, and right there, she's completely off the track at all. I mean, look at how much play that is. She's not even turning the front wheel. I expect that there's going to be a great deal of wear right in this position right here. In fact, these things are probably going to wear down rather quickly depending on whether or not you have uphill pieces. I can understand now why they have so much play in the bottom here, just to keep those on track. But I mean, look how that's completely off the track. Not a fan of the design at all. So in closing, here we have 3 of the 4 engines released on the Thomas Wooden Railway under the Great Race banner. And out of the 3, I've really got to say how disappointed I actually am with Frieda. Ashima, who is the main character being introduced in the new movie, she will be the breakout engine far and away. Vinny, the antagonist, he's a fun-looking engine, beautiful design, great attitude, lots of lines in the movie. I think that he'll be another hot seller this season. Frieda is a minor character. She only does have 1 line in the movie, and you know, with the problems with her going uphill, as well as with the steering problems that Vinny also has, I don't see her as being in demand much. And out of the three, I gotta say, I'm just disappointed with Frieda overall. So that is our review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please share or subscribe. And we hope to see you back.
Look at this, Mommy.
Yeah. Does Ashima have a Kinder egg?
Yeah.